I am joined today by Logan Foote, the Educational and Development Manager for golfstatus.org. Logan, did I just butcher your title? Did I get that right?
No, you got it right. Education and Development Manager. That's perfect.
So I've been fascinated. I've met with a couple people from your organization because golf outings, golf fundraisers are such a huge piece of the nonprofit world. Every time I've talked to someone, I've realized there's so much more these nonprofits could be doing. And I'm on the board of a couple that have golf outings. And I mean, the sky is the limit. It's been a very cool experience getting to know your organization. But today I'm with you. So tell me a little bit about your background, how you came to work with Golf Status and with nonprofits.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are headquartered here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and that's actually where I'm born and raised. I attended the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, got my degree in marketing. And then I've always had a passion for golf. I've been around the game since I was 4 years old. And the opportunity back in, I think it was 2017, kind of came up to work with Golf Status. And it was kind of, for me, a really perfect combination of golf. And I've also always been passionate about technology as well. And then that was kind of my first really experience working closely with nonprofits, which for the past really 3 years for me has been incredibly rewarding and something now I'm also passionate about. And it's our technology is just really kind of combines all of my passions, golf technology, and now helping nonprofits raise funds for some really cool causes.
It is a sweet deal when you get to do what you love and have it benefit so many. So
Yeah, for sure.
congrats. That's a good place to be in.
Yeah.
So we're not, when this airs, it will be the new year, 2022. Right now, so many nonprofits are busy planning their spring golf outings, and others are like, I don't even want to think about it. Like, let's hold off as long as we can. What is the right time? How soon should we start the process of getting ready for these events?
Really, when it comes to golf fundraisers in general, I say usually about 6 to 8 months. Sometimes 4 to 6 months is feasible as well. But I have worked with a number of clients that when their tournament ends, they're walking off the golf course to the whoever it is overseeing events, and they're signing the contract for next year. So giving themselves a full year out. Now, if you have a large network of supporters and whatnot, it's probably more feasible for you to throw together an outing in a couple months' time and have it be very successful. But if you feel you need more time to solicit supporters, golfers, sponsors, then I would give yourself probably somewhere in the range from that 4 to 8 months to get it started. But I also always tell people it's never too early to get your website or event website for registration up and running, get it promoted, even if you don't have all of the finer details set yet. At least get it on people's radar so they are expecting it. And then you can just slowly update those details kind of as you go along.
Definitely. One of the organizations I work with, they've done a golf outing for several years, and we were shocked. We went to book the course, and just how limited the availability has become since COVID. And we ended up having to move the timing of the event because we couldn't get our normal sweet spot in June. I mean, is that the trend you're seeing, just more and more of these outings? Because I mean, they're safer in a pandemic world. It's better to be outside.
It's been thought of as the sport of COVID. I mean, not even just outings, but just golf rounds in general are way up across the nation. So it has been something that a lot of fundraisers have turned to for their primary source of fundraising dollars for the year, whether they had a golf outing already or if they just turned to golf as something they'd like to try out for the first time in 2021 or even late 2020. It's definitely seen a huge surge in popularity. You're not just golfers who are playing more golf because of COVID, but people also who are new to the game, discovering it, spending more time at the golf course as well.
Maybe it's like the one silver lining of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have more golf, more ways to play, and more benefits.
Get outside, and you can obviously easily socially distance. One of the small drawbacks is you don't have the gatherings after the event in some cases, but you can still go out, be around people safely, and obviously you're outside and playing some golf, and you can still raise some really good money for your organization.
A lot of these courses too. I mean, I think every golf outing I've gone to this year had a beautiful tent arrangement. I mean, so there
Mhm.
was still some networking element, but it was outdoors, and we're in Michigan here, so the weather's always
Yeah.
a factor. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
better than nothing.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
was at an
sure.
event in Georgia that did just that. They had a big tent set up on the driving range that people came to afterwards, and there was no really formal gathering, but it was just more informal networking. Having conversation and a few appetizers as well. But yeah, mostly those gatherings are staying outside, but so not ideal, but it's still very doable and still very very effective.
So let's talk about this a little bit, because I have taken golf lessons. I don't even want to tell you how many times. I've taken a lot of golf lessons. My husband is a big golfer, and I still can't quite always consistently connect club to ball. It's just not my sport. It never will be. But I love going out on the greens. I think it's beautiful. How can how can these golf fundraisers be something that is enjoyable and engaging for non-golfers as well?
Yeah, it's a common question that I see come up quite a bit, and one of the really good solutions I've seen is when some events will have, they have the typical golf tournament you can register and play for, on the big 18-hole golf course, but they also kind of pair that with a clinic. So if you're new to the game, maybe if you just want to spend time on the driving range taking lessons, you can sign up for that as well while the large tournament is going on. Also, I've seen events say, hey, it's okay if you have an extra rider. So if you like to just ride along with the group and get out and hang around on the greens and whatnot, maybe have a few drinks, you can do that as well. So really finding those areas within the tournament that will allow someone who is a newcomer or just not as experienced to be comfortable, because it's a great time whether you are golfing or not. And so I totally get where you're coming from, wanting to still be somewhat involved but not actually the one swinging the club all the time.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want me as part of your scramble, and I don't like feeling like the weak link. I went to one a couple of years ago, and I want to say it was Gems Girls Clubs, but
Mhm.
they did a fashion show. I think they probably analyzed that most of the non-golfers were going to be women and what their demographic was, but they did a fashion show during the golf outing for the non-golfers, and that was sweet. I'm sure it upped the expense of the event a little bit, but it was so cool to have like an alternate activity that still kind of tied in.
That's really cool. I actually just met with this organization out of Detroit that they do, one of their big fundraisers is kind of like a tea party type fundraiser. And she told me it attracts mostly women. And a lot of the time they bring their husbands, and the husbands like aren't into it or just aren't, that engaged. And she's like, I wish I could do something for them that they would enjoy more. And she's like, maybe a golf tournament. Maybe I could do a golf
Yeah.
tournament to run alongside it. So it's kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum. But there's still a lot of great things you can do to kind of run alongside the golf event if you have people that either don't want to participate or maybe just don't want to be, on the golf course at all. Like that fashion show, that's something I've never heard of before, but I bet it was a huge success. That sounds really cool.
It was, but the clinic idea has merit too, because I think there's something safe if you're going to a clinic in lieu of playing.
Mhm.
You're going to be with others who this isn't their top sport. They're not going to be, connecting with the ball every time. So I like that. I like that. And then you might get them, feeling confident enough that they'll actually play the next year.
Right. That's what it's all about. Just surround those people with other players of their skill set, where they can be comfortable, because it can be intimidating, being in a group of experienced golfers and if you're not experienced. So just surround those people with players of their similar skill set, and they'll have a really great time.
Yeah. So we're all about the hidden gems here at Nonprofit Hub, and we've kind of talked about a couple, like doing the fashion show or the clinic. What are some other ways that nonprofits can be building added value or extra ways to engage into their spring fundraisers?
Yeah, some of the common things we see for raising more dollars is some of the on course contests that can be a kind of small contests as part of the larger tournament. So one of the popular ones is a hole in one contest. You pay so much money to have a shot at a hole in one on a par three. That's a really great way to raise extra dollars, as well as selling add-ons like mulligans or any sort of tickets like drink tickets, raffle tickets if you have a raffle on site. And then when it comes to further engaging, a great way to access new donors for your organization is through a golf tournament, especially when you add teams as part of sponsorship packages, a lot of the time when sponsors register, then it includes a team. Maybe one person at most on that team will be familiar with your organization or already be a supporter, and they bring along three others. Most golf tournaments include 4-person teams who have no idea what your organization does. So it's a great opportunity to expose newcomers to your organization, to your mission, and maybe hopefully steward them into be more consistent supporters of your nonprofit.
Kind of like filling a table for a gala. I mean,
Exactly.
it's the same logic. You can,
Mhm.
introduce new people who may be interested in supporting. So along those lines, a golf fundraiser is really designed to raise support for an organization.
Mhm.
And I have found in the ones that I've planned or participated in that it's often clunky. Like when and how do you ask for the gift? There's obviously some revenue that can be generated through the ticket sales and the sponsorship, but how have you seen donating, actually giving support, done well or uniquely with some of your clients?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is to make it easy, remove those barriers to donating, no matter how much that donation is. So, part of our technology's functionality is customized donations, online donations, however many they would like. And so, one of the, I would say, the common practices I see with our events. So, through our technology, our event organizers can send out messages to all of their golfers all at once, and they can include links. And so they kind of link back to that event website that has the donate buttons on it. And a lot of them do that as a thank you message after the event is over, or even sometimes during the event, maybe challenging people to donate. Maybe they have an overall goal. They can advertise that, hey, we're this close to our goal. Click here to donate more. And so that's a very common way of doing it, and it's easy. You simply link to the event site, you hit donate, put in your credit card, and it's done. And there are even some services we've seen that make the payment incredibly easy as well on course. So obviously collecting cash donations during the event is great, but it's almost 2022. A lot of people don't carry as much cash anymore, so having the ability to accept donations online is very key.
So we're seeing a huge shift right now. We run Cause Camp. It's a large nonprofit conference, and we watch other conferences because of this. And all these major events now have an app. It's almost considered like inhospitable to invite someone to an event and not give them a way to navigate and interact via their phone. The days of the paper program are fading fast. Does the same thing apply to golf outings?
Yeah, COVID kind of expedited all of that, eliminating the paper forms, but especially when it comes to the actual registration of the golf tournament and signing up, sending a paper form in the mail and expecting someone to fill that out and mail it back is, it just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, you need to make it easy and convenient, and being able to register and pay via your phone is huge, and that is an absolute must. I mean, that's where we live our lives these days.
Absolutely.
Obviously making it easy on a desktop or laptop computer is important as well, but registering via mobile, scoring via mobile is all incredibly important. That's where we spend all of our time. That's where we're focused. And so if you want to get that your message or your event in front of supporters, that's where you need to be.
That's actually one of my favorite things about Golf Status is like you can keep an eye on what's going on your phone. You don't have to like run back to the clubhouse or find somebody else. Like you can get notifications and stay in the loop. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So we recently rebranded this podcast. It used to be called the Hubcast, and it's now the Good to Growth podcast. So in every episode, we ask our guests to share a bit of good news for the nonprofit sector. So something that we can look forward to in 2022, or something you've realized or noticed. Can you give us a bit of good news?
Some good news for nonprofits, I guess, when it comes to working with us, we have what we call our Golf for Good program. So we can set up nonprofits with our technology for no cost up front at all. Everything that we can get you in, get access to our software, get your event set up, that's totally free for us to work with. And I think just golf fundraisers in general, we saw a huge boom. I think that'll continue into 2022. They'll be very popular. I think a lot of organizations who maybe turned to golf for the first time saw the value in it, and will keep holding fundraisers. And we even have multiple clients that work with us that are adding an additional golf fundraiser to their one golf tournament they already hosted. So it's as we've gone over, it's a huge opportunity to engage with new donors and steward your existing donors. And I think that kind of trend will continue on into 2022, and golf is a really great option to raise funds in general.
Man, I totally agree. I totally agree. I know of at least 3 organizations that did a golf outing for the first time between 2020 or 2021. And they all realized, like, it was one of those things where, why didn't we do this 5 years ago? Or why didn't we do this 3 years ago? Right. And so it's now becoming part of their annual fundraising plan, their annual event schedule. So, I mean, I'm convinced. I'm excited to see what 2022 brings. For
sure. And one of the things I hear from people who are just getting to golf for the first time is maybe they don't know golf, they haven't been around golf, and that kind of scares them off of running a golf fundraiser. And you absolutely do not have to know golf to put on a golf fundraiser. I say that in almost all of my webinars and conferences I attend, because a lot of nonprofit event organizers aren't very familiar with golf, and that's totally fine. We have multiple events we work with, some that raise millions of dollars, and the event organizer running it all, not a golfer whatsoever. And that's totally fine. And another reason I think is, there's a lot of event management software out there, but none are specific to golf. So kind of using a word you used earlier, that makes the process kind of clunky. Whereas, you look at our software, it was built specifically for golf. That's our niche. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in. It'll make it so much easier and a lot less daunting of a task to take on. So we'll be there with you every step of the way. And all that to say, don't be scared of golf fundraisers. If you're not a golfer, you can absolutely pull it off.
Okay, so if you are thinking about doing a golf outing, if you do a golf outing, but you're looking to kind of up the revenue and the engagement for it, how can folks reach out to you or to Golf Status? How can they follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow us on all, social media, Instagram, Twitter, golfstatus.org. On our website, golfstatus.org, there is a form you can fill out if you'd like to get in touch with us. Sit down with a very quick product demo, a no pressure product demo from one of our sales staff to kind of take you through the technology, what it can do for you, and how we can get you set up. And then also my email, simply Logan, Logan @golfstatus.org. Shoot me an email and I can get you set up, or just get on the phone and chat with you and see how we can help you, where you are if you're planning a golf tournament, for sure. If you're just thinking about it, whatever it may be, if you just want to have a casual conversation about what a golf fundraiser could look like, more than happy to do that as well.
Very cool. And folks, this is one of the more charitable organizations. Obviously they have a product, but they also have a heart for nonprofits. So I have high trust with them. I encourage you to as well. They are a great first step if you are looking to start a golf outing. Logan, I can't thank you enough for your time. You have me excited for spring. I'm not excited to golf, but I'm excited for spring.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring on that warm weather.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Thanks for being part of the program.
Yeah, thank you.